Have you ever thought to yourself when hiring, I really want to hire this person because they have all of the skills, they just don't have the personality? My name is Hannah Gant. I'm the founder of Career Image Solutions, where we specialize in all things hiring. So while you take care of the profits, we take care of all things people. So the reality is that when you are hiring or when you are recruiting for the right person, you want to make sure that they have the skills required for the role. If you are hiring an engineer, you might require them to have a bachelor's degree, but beyond that, you want to make sure that they actually know how to do the thing that you're hiring them for, right? Most employers, most CEOs, most startup professionals, they're usually not trying to train a whole lot when they're hiring somebody. So again, the skill level is absolutely just a big plus. We have a career solution side of our company, and one of the things we speak to working professionals about is that if you have the skills for the role that you're applying to, you want to highlight those things up front because that sets you apart. At least people will know up front that you can at least meet the minimum qualifications. Well, from a hiring perspective, the challenge to that is that you're not taking into consideration the personality of the organization and the personality of the role. Now, what do I mean by that? We oftentimes talk about the culture of the organization. And I heard someone say before, culture eats strategy any day. The reality is that the culture of an organization is truly the personality of the organization. Are you a friendly bunch? Are you all go-getters? Are you all results oriented, right? All your culture attracts different types of personalities. There's certain personalities, you think about it. I know you're thinking about it even now, that just will not work where you are. We were recently working with an organization, and what we realized, we went in and did some personality assessments and workshops, and we recognized that this group had a predominant, just very nice, passive personality type in their entire leadership team. And what they all stood on was just like, oh my gosh, if we had somebody that was extremely direct, they would not survive here. They won't survive here because we just would clash. It just wouldn't work. So again, you need to know the personality of your organization, aka your culture, because that is going to be a critical step in you determining who you should hire. It's not just about the skills, even though the skills are so important, but people that you end up selecting you need to ensure that that they are the right fit. Fit usually doesn't get determined by the skills. Think about it. It's usually because of the personality, right? Their work style, their work habits, the things that they say about how they would do the thing. How they would do the thing, it's usually their personality coming out. We met with the client the other day, and they told us that they were hiring for an administrative assistant role. And when we asked them about the role, we said, well, tell us about the personality of the role. And they said, well, we just need somebody that's behind the scenes. It's a lot of data entry. It doesn't really need a whole lot of personality. We just need somebody to enter in the data into our systems, to have attention to detail, that loves data, that understands the data. I'm like, got it. So as I read through the notes about what the person will be doing, I recognized that the data that they would be entering comes directly from customers that the incumbent would be talking to. So they will be primarily speaking to customers to get this data. Why is that important? Because you are in your mind just focused on the data, but the reality is that you have to have somebody that is able to communicate, being friendly on the phones, speaking to your potential customers. Do you really want someone who is just really monotone and dry talking to your customers to get this data that you know that you need? Or would you like to have somebody that knows how to be upbeat, friendly, knows how to have emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, right? So these are things that you really need to consider. So I want to leave you with 3 things. When you are recruiting for a role, you want to look at the duties and you want to identify the personality that is required for those duties, okay? The second thing is, if you are doing this for the first time or you don't have any HR support, you really want to at least, at the very, even if you don't want an HR consultant to come in and recruit for you, at least have them come in to review your job description and or your job posting to ensure that there's nothing missing. If you're just relying on Google, you will be shocked at how much can be missing by going to Uncle Google, who happens to be my friend too. So I'm listening. There's no shade over here. However, we do know that laws are changing. So you want someone to look at it from a compliance perspective. But in addition to that, you want to make sure that someone is looking at it from a personality perspective, from a skills and requirements perspective. And an HR consultant can definitely help you do that. Third thing is that you want to ensure that you bring up the personality in your interview process, right? So again, if you happen to be posting your job, you want to put in there, hey, this position is highly data driven, but we need somebody with a sense of humor. Whatever it is, you want to talk about the personality of your organization and or the role up front. So that way someone, even with the skill sets, that they may have the skill set they may apply, but it at least allows them to determine, I'm pretty reserved. I don't have a sense of humor. This doesn't sound, I like to go to work and come home. I don't like to be doing a whole lot of jokes. At least give them that option of determining if that's something that they would be interested in up front. Included also in the interview process, right? So if you know that your entire team or the culture, the personality of your culture, it's one that is really upbeat, very fast paced, you want to make sure that you're including questions within your interview process that determines how fast someone works or how quick they come up with decisions. This is another area that I would strongly recommend you bringing in an HR consultant, even if you don't want someone helping you with your recruitment, at least having someone review your interview questions to ensure that the responses you get is completely aligned with the role you are trying to fill. Listen, I hope that this was extremely helpful for you. If you need some additional information on how to handle all things hiring, workforce development, so you can continue handling your profits, you want to reach out to us at career-image.com. At Career Image Solutions, we are looking forward to speaking with you about your hiring needs. I look forward to hearing from you all in the comments below. Have a great day.